Today, we're going to see if we can reduce the power draw on a 14900K to match the power draw of a 9800X3D without losing FPS. Now, this video was brought to you by this ridiculous tweet by WCCF Tech. They shared something sharing misinformation and propaganda about the AMD chip having 40% better efficiency. Now, to be fair, when we did in the last video max overclock versus max overclock, the AMD CPU was actually 60% more efficient, but that's me pushing the Intel CPU balls to the wall, right? In order to win by, what it was, 15 FPS, right? So in this video, we're going to go the other way, and we're going to try and make it as efficient as possible. For those of you with the PC optimization masterclass, nothing in this video is going to be new to you. You guys already know how to tune your CPUs. This is just for fun. Now, the tips that you're going to see in this video are applicable to Battlefield only. This game engine is very specific in how it utilizes CPU resources. So if you do these things for other games, it might not necessarily yield the same result. The config is going to be the exact same as it was in the previous video. So that way we can compare apples to apples with the power draw. In this video, we're going to be downclocking the CPU and undervolting the cores as we go along. And our goal target for the 14900KS is 120 watts because that's what the AMD CPU was pulling. So in the last video, my Intel CPU was at 5.9 gigahertz and it was pulling about 220 watts, right? So I zoomed up on the overlay for you guys. I had a bunch of complaints last time because the overlay was so small. There you guys go. I blew it up for you. And yeah, there you go. So I put the clock speed up as well. So 5.9 and she's pulling basically exactly 220 watts, 225. So we already know that this is way too high. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in the BIOS and bring it down to like 5.3 or something like that. And then we're going to see how much power reduction that alone gives us. So in order to check how much FPS loss we're actually getting, I think we're on Siege of something, Conquest. We're on the left side over here. We're just going to basically look at a wall and see how much FPS it's just the most consistent way to do it. We'll check the shrubbery after, right? So let's go. We will look at this air conditioner up here. There we go. So we're at about 345 FPS in this spot at 220 watts-ish, 215 watts, 5.9 gigahertz. Okay, so we're back and we're re-queuing now. I put it at 5.3 gigahertz. I did not change the RAM speed, the ring speed, or any of the voltages. Although the core voltage will kind of downvolt itself based on the clock speed. You can learn about all that in the PC optimization masterclass. So we're actually on a different map, but that doesn't really matter because we have to get our power draw anyway. Yeah, so that was 100... So now we're at 150 watts. We're close. We're there. But you see, the FPS didn't really change. Right? It's pretty sweet. All right. We are at 5.2 gigahertz. Still 135 watts, man. Oh, I don't know if the Intel CPU can do it, dude. It just won't pull less power. 129. Well, we might have to go to 5.1. It's crazy. I'm not sure if the... Look at the FPS, though. You can totally compete like this. Okay, let's try 5.1. 5.1. We're at a... Oh, I spoke too soon. No way. Still 10 watts off, man. This is unreal. So I actually noticed that the auto voltage compensation stopped going down by itself around 5.2 or 5.1. So I went back in the BIOS, did an even more aggressive undervolt. Actually, this is the map we want to be on, isn't it? Oh, look at that. That totally worked out. Let's check this out. So we were here. We were here. We were looking at this thing. So I just checked the footage, and we were at 345 FPS before. 345 divided by 325. So that's crazy. So we reduced the clock speed by what, 18%? And we only lost 6% FPS. Huh. That's a damn good trade-off. It does seem like the Intel CPU sweet spot is around 5.3 or 5.4. The voltage kind of stopped scaling downward once we got past that point. But it looks like our power draw here is close enough. We're about 120 to 125 watts. So I'm just going to keep requeuing until we get to the shrubbery part. And then that's the real test. Okay, so we're at the shrubbery map here. Finally. Now I downclocked the CPU a little bit more down to 5 gigahertz. Just to bring that power draw down even more to get it closer to 120. I don't think this CPU can go below 125. It's impossible. Like the power draw. Oh, come on, man. Let me benchmark 174, 177. There's like no FPS difference. Oh, there. Oh, 163. 163. There it is. 163. So the AMD CPU wins by 2 FPS at the same power draw. But let's be real here. They're exactly the same. Interestingly, within margin of error. I mean, you could do 10 runs and they'd be 2 FPS different every time. So within margin of error. So both CPUs, come on, man. So both CPUs at 120 watts are both about 165 FPS lows in that shrubbery. So let's actually calculate that. So from 5.9 to 5, that's 18%. That's an 18% clock speed reduction. And then we were at about 175 to 165. 6%. Oh, so same as the air conditioning. Yeah, so the average and the lows both went down by 6%, even though we reduced the clock speed by 18%. So to summarize what the heck just happened, 5.9 gigahertz equals 220 watts. 5 gigahertz equals 125 watts. And then this one resulted in 6% less FPS, 43% less power draw. Very interesting. So 120 watts to 120 watts, the Intel platform and the AMD platform perform the exact same, which is hella interesting. Now, the caveat there being the AMD platform from the last video was a max overclock. And this is, I don't know what the hell you would call this. This is like a max RAM overclock with a max core undervolt, which is actually kind of how you want to run your Intel system anyway. But I digress. It's not really fair because we didn't find kind of like the sweet spot on the AMD system. Like we probably could have reduced the power on that thing by 20 or 30 watts and maybe lost very, very minimal FPS as well. If you do want to see that video, leave a comment down below and we can do that in the next one. But for you bros that have Intel platforms, see, you know what? 5.4 is kind of where I would sit. Make it pull about 140, 150 watts, and you basically lose no FPS. So actually, let me show you guys what my CPU core voltage is at. 1.074 to hit 5 gigahertz, okay? She won't go any lower. You know where we can test this actually? I'm doing a review on this thing right here. It's the mobile version of a 7800X3D. So we can use this thing to see what the sweet spot is for AMD CPUs in this game and how little power draw we can pull. Make sure you subscribe because you're not going to want to miss that content. But man, this Battlefield content in general is lit. Don't forget, guys, if you want to learn how to do all the stuff that I showed in this video today, go to framechasers.org/education, grab the PC optimization masterclass, where you'll never have to wonder how to do this stuff ever again. It's a great way to support the channel so I can bring unbiased content to you. And it's also a great way to never have to ask for help with your PC from your friends ever again. For you Intel bros, I hope you learned something today. And for you AMD bros too, Intel can match AMD power draw for power draw. I should caveat that in games like this with this specific engine, with some crazy ass undervolts and underclocks. I still wouldn't say it's as power efficient as AMD. It's just you can get it to where you want it to be. And if you have any questions about this video and you want to talk to me directly, go to framechasers.org and become a supporter and get access to the Discord. Another way that you can also do it is by becoming a member and hitting the join button down below. That also gets you the Discord, and it also gets you all of the Saturday live streams. Don't forget to comment down below if you want to see the AMD version of this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Talk to you later.